everybody, this is Leticia coming to you today again for another edition of my weekly Money Matters webinars. And as announced a bit earlier today, I have the pleasure of being joined today by two awesome, dynamic real estate and crypto entrepreneurs that I had the pleasure of meeting here in the Riviera Maya. They are part of the Crypto Playa community. And ever since I connected initially with Mario, who is a gentleman in black on the right. Hello, Mario. I was fascinated by what he was up to. And Javier is on our left. I introduced you guys a little bit briefly, but all I'm going to say is, again, Mario Gargano on the right is the founder of DeFi Paradise, and which is the first real estate token in the Riviera Maya, and we'll explain what that means. And Javier Serrudo is behind Project Hibrido, which is a blockchain. It's an innovative new blockchain that he's going to explain to us about. And in addition to that, he also has experience in, if I have it correctly, real estate development, and you're also involved with a bank down in the Cayman Islands. Javier, perhaps you can tell us more about your background, and then the two of you connected because you're very passionate about merging the world of real estate investing and the world of crypto and the future that it can provide. Correct?
Okay. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you everybody for being here, for giving us the possibility to hear something new. We're entrepreneurs, and really we want to develop something new here in Playa del Carmen, in Caribe, in Quintana Roo, in which it involves all the developments here in Playa del Carmen.
Okay.
I'm really, since 6 years ago in crypto world. Perhaps I'm fascinated with blockchains. I have my own blockchain. I created a Lightning payments also. I have my own node miners. And perhaps one of the things I love here is we are launching in a few days, let's say less than half a week, more or less, or half a month, a new token that is called Maya token, in which with that token you will be participating on different developments here in Playa del Carmen, or Tulum, or Cancun, everything that happens all the Riviera Maya, and perhaps this token will bring you discounts in all the, let's say, the developments or whatever you wanted to use here when you are having holidays. Nowadays, we are working with Lightning payments, which I don't know if people know what is Lightning payments. It's a chain that is developed on top of the public blockchain Bitcoin. And what is very good of this type of channel is that it's without fee, only sats, and perhaps it's only one confirmation, and it lasts like 2 seconds to confirm the transaction. And it's perhaps it's the technology that has been involved in Miami conference last 2 weeks, I think so. So
yeah, the Bitcoin conference that took place in Miami.
Exactly.
Okay.
Almost this technology I'm talking about has been involved in the last conference we are talking about. And yes, we are really enjoying this moment because we are crazy, We are in a moment that we are crazy because we are with a lot of stuff. And perhaps what is really good for the people is that you're going to have rental vacations, and you can invest in a crowdfunding development. So you can participate in parts, let's say, or only a piece of a smart contract in which you're involved with a hotel or with an apartment or whatever.
Let me backtrack a little bit, Javier. And just so you know, guys, Javier and Mario, we usually only have a handful of people watching live, but more people will be catching this video on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook page, and so on. And you're also more than welcome to download it and use it on your platforms. If anybody's watching this video on YouTube, I would appreciate if you guys could like it, subscribe. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. So what I was going to say, and what had me fascinating to begin with in this concept is, as you all know, even to acquire, let's say, an investment property here, whether it's, even a small bachelor, studio or 1 bedroom, you're still looking at an investment of minimum 100K USD. oftentimes closer to 200K USD. And there are people that, you know, as much as they may like to participate, they don't have that kind of liquidity. And so what this innovative concept allows people to do is they can acquire a portion of a project or of various developments using this new, in this case, the Maya token, which is essentially a crypto. Could it be considered a cryptocurrency? Not exactly. Like, or how would you describe what a token is?
In what we are creating a token in which token will be $1. So we a pre-sale so as to see how much people is interested. Both those who are investing in the pre-sale will have a lot of, let's say, opportunities that can have discounts, and really this stable token will bring you opportunities also not solely for investments, as you said, in which you can invest a part with a smart contract in which you can have a portion, let's say, of a hotel, of a studio, or whatever. So when you have your token in your profile, you can also use it for, let's say, for have some discount for having some beers in Caribe, in a bar, for have restaurants, or any park, let's say aquatic parks. The really thing we need to have to involve this token is have discounts for the people and to try to avoid fees. You know that, for example, when you rent with any other rental vacations, let's talk about Airbnb, Booking, or whatever, you always want to have the problem that is the fee, governments on the fee of these people is
taxes, yeah.
These taxes,
so
these taxes, they are very expensive comparing with the lighting payments in which you don't have any tax. And perhaps
right.
And with the same money you are going to spend with Airbnb, you can stay like 1 more week over here because it's going to be cheaper.
Got it. So one of the things you're facilitating, and you and I are talking about that, because as some of my audience know, I've already being here in Playa, I started helping people find rentals, and I also I'm helping people with purchases.
Nowadays,
and
working only
so I have clients. I feel like a lot of my increasingly opening their minds up to the crypto world if they aren't already. So essentially what you're facilitating is through your platform, people are going to be able to accept crypto as a form of payment for their vacational rentals, right?
Exactly.
So instead of accepting dollars, if you prefer to take crypto, now, I mean, people could do that on their own. They don't necessarily need your help with that. But what you're doing is you're centralizing essentially all the vacation rentals. You just started this platform, playita.com, right? .mx. So anybody who has a property and they're open to accepting cryptocurrencies, you want to encourage people to get on this platform, correct?
Exactly. You can
yeah. We're definitely going to talk because I definitely have some clients that perhaps would be open to that. I get that maybe not everybody knows enough about crypto or not everybody's ready, but we are, it's up to us, those of us who know more than others to some extent, to help transition people through this process, and kind of open people's minds. Well, you know what? You don't have to just rent your condo on Airbnb where they're going to slap you with potentially a 32% tax. You could just accept cryptocurrencies and then maybe deal with taxes on the back end in ways that are more tax efficient for you. So I love this concept. I love that you're doing this, and I think there's a lot of opportunity here. But more importantly, tell us, how. Go ahead.
Not that let's say once you can pay in lighting payments, you can pay Bitcoin, or you can make a swap, or also you can make macro payments, micro payments in the invoice you will have. I will explain. If you are renting like a house for 20 people, once you put your updates for the time you're going to be in the house, always will be an invoice in BTC in which you have to pay. But only like 2,000 people can pay the same invoice with micro payments. And if you are going to go holidays with 20 people to a house, to Caribe, those 20 people can send their BTC until the invoice is paid. So all of them can send micropayments, so you can have all of them the same amount until the invoice is paid. Once it's paid, reservation will be sent to all the participants to their emails.
Amazing.
So
yeah. I love it because I remember, I love it. So you could automate this process, make it faster for people, because it wouldn't be, I'm not the first person who, rented an Airbnb with a bunch of people, and then somebody in the end, they didn't have enough money to cover their share, or we had this kinds of issues. So this way, you know what, you want to go on a vacation together, you gotta prepay, and here's how you do it. You prepay via Bitcoin or crypto. You pay your share only once all of us have paid our share. This vacation is happening. Until then, tú no vienes. You're not coming. Okay. So I mean, this kind of takes care of things, right?
One rental vacation, many people can different part from the world without tax, and 100% decentralized. You are using Bitcoin or, let's say, Lightning payments, so you can use it here in all the Caribbean.
I love it. I love it. I'm a big fan, and anybody who's purchased, crypto in what's called. Your sound is coming, Javier. Your sound. Say that again, por favor. Say that again, because you're cutting out a little bit.
Okay. Okay, sorry. This website upload all once their own condo, their own apartment, and they can use the system without fee, okay, without tax, and you can use the Lightning payments. If you are accepting BTC with this page, you can use it worldwide wherever you want, and you are not going to have any for transactions.
That's amazing. I love it. Well, I mean, I guess my question would be, other than wanting to promote this concept and these technologies, I mean, what's in it for you? Because if you're providing this free to the property owners, essentially they can advertise their properties on your platform and let people know, hey, for these properties, we're accepting Bitcoin, we're accepting cryptocurrencies as a form of payment. Like, what's in it for you? Yeah.
People in which they want to buy Maya token.
Okay.
For pre-sales.
Okay, that's right.
Because BTC is open mind, but if you want to use really a stable token so as to have the same as dollars, you have to use a stable token called Maya token, in which you're going to use it for pre-sales or for buying here in Playa del Carmen or in Tulum, any property.
Got it. So I'm just...
The one that understand a little bit of crypto is going to ERC20.
Okay, so I'm just wondering, like, how would you, let's say you're wanting to fund a new development, and in the past, the developer would have to sell the individual units, okay? But in this case, what we're doing is we are crowdfunding the development using this new Maya token in this case. So you could have a whole condo building. So I guess it would work very similarly, because at the end of the day, you're talking about, okay, a certain percentage of the project needs to be funded before construction can begin, right?
And the process, when you pay founding, up at the moment when you translate the money, and the processor will receive a USDT.
Okay.
So imagine.
Oh, you're receiving, sorry. Say that again. So people are buying the Maya token, and the Maya token is then used to acquire or to fund these developments, or explain to you just a little bit. Okay. And what were you saying about USDT? USDT is a cryptocurrency. It's known as a stable coin. It mirrors the value of one USDT equals $1. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we are going to use the same technology so as to develop, and perhaps it's going to be called Maya token.
Okay. Okay.
Token will be always $1 stable coin. And what is very good, and really we are creating a foundation, because a percentage of the people who is investing we're going to create a school near the beach for blockchains for kids. So free, 100% free, so people start getting involved in blockchain. And we're gonna prepare a whole beach of blockchain school. So it's kindergarten also. So part of the technology, part of the investments will be also helping people for the next, let's say, people who's coming.
Generation. Yeah, I love this. In other words, you want to educate new generations about blockchain technology, about cryptocurrencies, and I mean, currently, I don't think there's much of that at all happening in Mexico, and really in a lot of the world. I mean, these technologies are still very emergent. So I really appreciate that you guys have this vision of continuing to promote these concepts, these innovations in both the world of real estate and well, cryptocurrency and how it merges with the world of real estate. By the way, guys, if Mario is not saying much, is because his English is he's better at listening than speaking in English. Okay, he's a really great guy. Yeah.
I'm in charge of
Man, your sound is like coming in and out. Say that again, por favor, Javier.
Join together because Mario here in Playa del Carmen in the Saint Tulum had a lot of experience with the developers. He's in charge of collecting all the information of all the luxury places to sell, so can join to our site and start paying in BTC. So we joined the strength. I make the developer, and he's in charge of looking for some good clients and people who wants to receive BTC in their development.
Well, and as some of my audience already knows, I recently helped a Canadian client acquire an investment property here, and he used cryptocurrencies to fund a portion of the purchase. So I can, I'm definitely going to speak to this particular developer as well, because he's somebody who's already open to the idea of crypto, and he welcomes it, right? So I'm sure you're going to find some developers are more open to these ideas versus others, and those are the people you want to work with, and I get that we're still at the emerging, it's an emerging technology, it's an emerging concept. That being said, it's not totally foreign to, for example, my audience. Many in my audience will have heard of something called the Real Estate Investment Trust. REIT is the term. A REIT basically pools investor funds, and then they use that money to acquire apartment buildings, for example, or other, like usually we're talking about larger properties, expensive, like higher priced properties. So, but in that case, they collect dollars from people, and then there's a lot of red tape involved with all that, a lot of regulation, because it's considered a security and it's governed by the financial authorities. Now we're kind of talking about doing the crypto equivalent of a REIT, sort of,
Sorry.
I said the crypto equivalent of a REIT. So what a real estate investment trust is. Some will call it an alternative investment, but essentially what they do is they pool investor funds. They collect, let's say, 10,000, 5,000 from one investor. They pool that money, and then they use the funds to acquire, in this case, apartment buildings or large commercial buildings. Okay, so
exactly.
But we have here, it's a crypto equivalent of that, and I guess the question is, why would people choose to invest, via in the form of a cryptocurrency, as opposed to maybe just participating in a regular REIT? Sorry if I'm putting you on the spot with that, but I mean, I'm curious about it.
Okay, the first of all, the ROI is 100%. Really?
To the change.
Okay, first of all, the ROI, it will be very good. For example, you're going to invest, I don't know, in the studio here in Playa del Carmen, there are like $120,000. Perhaps with buying it with us, you are not going to have fees. So perhaps with $100,000, you can do it. So you are going to pay less. The ROI, once it is built, the ROI will be like 15% to 25% yearly, okay, because it's crypto without tax.
Okay. Okay. So, and how did you guys manage to set that up in a way that is tax-free? Because I know, is it based on the jurisdiction where you have created your fund, or and is this in the form of a corporation, or how does it even, in the background, how does that even work, if I may ask?
All the companies we're going to sign with us a contract in which we are going to fund their developers, the developing, let's say, the building, and they will give a smart contract to the investors. Afterwards, they are 100% built. The people who is interested in keep the building, or let's say the hotel, or let's say the department, they must also be, let's say, let's say a contract in which they will also receive, only receive BTC or USDT for rental vacations, so they will not have fees also for rental vacation. And once the building needs the money, we have the possibility that we have investors, huge investors, that have the funding in dollars, and they will keep the funding for the development. So that's very good, because I make develop, he make the contact, and we have a very huge contract that we will be funding in dollars, and he will be in charge of saving of the crypto. So that's very good, because the money will be also 100% secure, just because we have the people who is going to invest in dollars, you know?
So I sort of understand, because I met somebody else that was kind of proposing something similar. So in other words, if you're, since you're going to be, people are going to be investing in this particular, in the Maya token, for example, at the end of the day, the project still needs to be built with dollars, because as of now, crypto not yet widely accepted as a form of payment. So what you're saying is that
that's why is, for example, we have stages. The first stage will be the ones who want to be pre-sale. The second stage will be a stage in which we have a 10% of the development, and obviously the cost will be a little bit higher. So the pre-sale will be the ones that have the amount of ROI, the highest ROI, let's say.
ROI, yeah.
Once we finish,
you're saying ROI, yeah, ROI, return on investment. That's what he's talking about, yeah.
Okay. Once you have all the stages almost sale, yes, the development will be almost reaching the end, because for each stage, once we finish funding that percentage of the stage, the first of all, what we are going to do is to change the money, so we can give it to a developer. In the moment the developer will receive the money, you will also have a contract from the developer, okay, smart contract between Playita, that is us, in which have the token, and the developer. So the one who is investing will have two trust contracts, smart contracts,
Okay. And people may not know what a smart contract means. Maybe you can just quickly explain to you how it would apply in this case.
Let's say that quickly, smart contract is a contract between two persons in which you are involved, and you have a promise, and you put your funds. Until the first stage is not made, or let's say of what you are promising is not made, you could not have the funds. So once you have all the development almost to pay, because you have everything in a page, or let's say in a contract, in which it shows in what we're going to waste the money, yes, there you have to sign the second contract, so we can change the money and give it to the developer. And there's where the development give you a smart contract, that is a second smart contract, in which your money is being used to make the construction. So it's as when you buy something, a car or a house, you have to sign papers. It's the same, but we are going to say the sign would be in blockchain. So it will be a unique chain, and perhaps you are going to have hash. A hash is where it's the money sent, and in blockchain you always have a hash for each transaction. So always the blockchain will give information of your transaction and what's going to be used the money for. So
okay. I think I understand. So essentially, it works like every other contract, except I think it's automated. It's all recorded in the blockchain instead of, like.
Instead of giving amount of money for a bank account, you will receive the hash in which the money is sent. So you have the proof.
A record. You're going to have a record of that. Okay, I get it. Okay, interesting. So I guess my question would be, right now, since this is still such an emerging concept and opportunity for people, do you foresee some projects that are going to be partially funded by, let's say, this new token, and then partially funded the more traditional way, where the developer will sell maybe it's a project of like 20 units, and they're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna sell 16 units just the regular way, and maybe 4 units I'm gonna crowdfund them.
Only crypto.
No. Okay, so you're gonna have some projects that are exclusively crypto funded. That's the plan, right?
All development, no fear.
Obviously, okay, so obviously you're going to be focusing on certain developments and developers that are open to this concept, and they're willing to kind of like, yes, we're going to take a chance on this. We're going to solely fund this project using crypto. Okay. Do you currently have something in the works, or is that still to be revealed in terms of like projects that are going to be available for investment?
Exactly. Yes. We are in charge. Mario is in connection with one of the luxury places here of developers, and he's almost 100% convinced that we are in technology or in the future. So perhaps,
which is true.
After our launching, practically 100% of their developments were going to be in crypto. So what? From the 2nd of July, we are signing a contract with almost all the developers that wanted to use our technology. And they're going to have their products with dollars and a special product paying crypto. If you don't use crypto, you cannot have these units.
Right. Got it. This is amazing. This is, I love it. And I definitely think there are opportunities here. And I think there will be some developers that are open to this idea, because to them, I think it opens them up to a whole new potential clientele, potentially from all over the world. And again, the price for entry is lower. So instead of them having to sell units at like 100, 150, 200K USD, now they have access to a larger pool of potential investors. And then I guess my question would be in terms of how the ROI would be given. Let's say, first of all, the Maya token gets invested, the project gets built. Now these would be presumably rental apartments. Like these are income generating suites, correct? Like that's the focus here, right? So essentially you are giving people an opportunity to participate in a real estate investment. In this case, it would be vacational rentals, or I guess it would be decided what makes more sense, whether it's long-term or what have you. But you're saying that even those rents would be collected in crypto? That's what's okay. So that's going to be part of the plan. I guess my question would be whether that's sustainable if you're going to have enough clients willing to rent out units and pay in crypto. I mean, that will depend on like the adoption rate of these technologies. One would hope, like,
Sure. Make like small investigation of them. And here in Caribe, there is paradise. So imagine that you can have with your crypto or with your BTC, you can have a piece of the paradise. So imagine. I think that if we give these 2 years, I think we're gonna be a huge company, because many people worldwide will prefer using crypto without taxes or without fee, instead of paying, 30% taxes and staying short term or instead of long term here in Playa del Carmen. Perhaps if you want to pay, imagine 1 year of apartment and you're paying $3,000 for the apartment, imagine that you are going to pay like almost $40,000 a year of rental. Imagine a 30% less.
No, yeah, you don't have to convince me. I mean, it all makes sense as long as we have the ability to keep avoiding taxation on crypto, which so far you found a way to structure yourselves so that that's possible. We don't know like what's going to happen in the future, but for now, that's the plan, to keep everything basically tax-free. The question is, and how would you be paying distributions to, I guess, the token holders? Would it be monthly distributions? Would it be like, do you have a plan in mind as to how the ROI will be distributed once the units are already built, the units are rented out, they're generating an income? How often do you expect to make payments to your investors in this case?
In each profile of you sign in the Playita, in your profile, you will have 2 labs in which it labs with Bitcoin wallet, Lightning payment wallet. So in the moment you receive a rental vacation and you have to send the money to the owner, you send the money in crypto. And we will have in their profile, for each people, their own address, BTC address. So it's 100% secure.
So in other words, yeah, but what confuses me, okay, I get that if somebody already has a unit that they're wanting to rent out, they can list it on playita.com.mx and you can facilitate for them to accept Bitcoin and perhaps other cryptos. I get that. My question was more in the case of the pre-sale projects in Canada, we call them pre-construction. So projects which would be funded by the Maya token through this form of like crypto-based crowdfunding, okay? What happens once those projects are built? Essentially, each unit could have multiple owners because we're talking about a group of people pooled together. So how will those distributions, how will the return on investment for those units, how often will that be paid to investors?
It depends.
You can sell the apartment in pre-sale.
Okay, you can sell the apartment before it's 100% developed. Okay, you can sell it, or instead, if you want to keep it, you will receive the percentage of the amount you have on the apartment you buy. For example, it's not the same cost of having a studio or of having a penthouse. So if you invest, I don't know, $500,000, that is more or less the price of a penthouse, and you want a penthouse and also a studio, it depends of the unit you buy, of the ROI you're going to have. Because if you have a studio, your ROI will be like, I don't know, $2,000 monthly, and a penthouse can have $4,000 monthly. So that amount of money, you're going to receive it in your wallet because your wallet will be in the lab in your profile. You understand?
Okay. Well, not fully, because essentially what the people will be acquiring is a portion of each of these units. I mean, some people may invest a large enough amount to buy essentially the equivalent of an entire unit, but okay.
People have 40 and 40%, you will be a 20% owner of a studio. So the monthly, we will only send you the 20% of that ROI of that studio.
Okay. So the idea is that even though you're acquiring a part of a project, whether it's, people will know whether they're putting their units towards a penthouse unit or towards a studio. So there's a way to track, yes or no?
The investor will have to buy, let's say. If he have $50,000 and he wants to buy half of the studio, it will be better than having one fourth part of a penthouse, because he will receive less money,
I guess you can help them with those decisions at the time of purchase, whether you can tell them, like, hey, listen, the return on investment we usually expect with the studio would be this much, and therefore if you're buying the equivalent of half of a studio, then you can expect this much, correct?
Okay. When you buy the token, once they will be launching the first developer, you will choose, I want to send, I don't know, 100,000 tokens to this developer, and you choose a studio, you choose 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, or a penthouse. So once you choose and you put your money, afterwards the ROI, monthly or yearly, you will receive it in your wallet.
Okay, so that's what I was actually asking you. How often do you expect to make payments to your investors? Is it going to be monthly? Is it going to be quarterly? Because have you thought about that yet or not?
Weekly or monthly? Really, we don't have set up 100% that. First of all, we need to set up the developer.
Sure.
Afterwards, the rental location, you can have it monthly or weekly, but the idea is to centralize it. You can upload your studio in Playita, and you can ready your own if you have a broker, let's say.
But that's if you have, sure, but that's if they have a full studio. But if they only own like a portion of the studio, they're not really going to be doing that. So I assume there's going to be a portion, like I know here in Playa, there are some developers that stay on as the management company, or each owner decides who will manage the rental. So, but in this case, because we're talking about potentially partial owners, will you be providing the rental management services, or are you going to have a separate company that will ensure that these units are actually rented out and generating an income?
Yes, exactly. That's the way. We can manage the place, or you can manage yourself.
Okay, but all I'm saying is, if a person only owns 50% of a unit, they can't really manage it themselves because there's other owners for the other half. So in that case,
you will have a calendar in which the profile will be, and the access of that profile will be for the people who is owner. So you can see 100% of all the transactions that studio or that penthouse will have. So if you want to manage yourself, you will have that profile with the other owners, and you can see when the date is free, or you can send the information to our other company we're going to build, and we can have our rental location that will give you the ROI, yes?
Sure.
Weekly or monthly.
Okay, got it. So in that way, it will be like completely hands-off. Yeah, I guess my question is, well, you're expecting ROIs of up to 15-20%, because again, we're talking tax-free returns, which is huge. Because I know, for example, if somebody were to invest in a REIT, real estate investment trust, what they're more likely to get, 6 to 8% per annum is kind of the standard. So I guess the reason somebody would want to choose, to invest with you guys is, higher returns potentially. And also like just the coolness factor. Well, just the fact that you're like participating in it.
People can invest, they can sell the unit, or perhaps other people want to sell the units, and that you have the opportunity to go on buying in a long term more parts of different people who are selling their part of their units. That's very important. Invest in long term.
Got it. So essentially, once you buy, your Maya tokens, you'll be able to sell these to other owners in that development. Like you'll be able to sell your stake somehow. That makes sense. That makes sense. It works like that. In most cases, I guess my question would be, if any of the units that were acquired with crypto, let's say you have two owners and they both decide to sell the unit. Let's say two owners own a studio, they decide they want to cash out. Can they then sell that studio on the open market, or you're not?
Yes, 100%.
So you wouldn't prevent that from happening, and then the rest of the units can still be managed as before through with the token system, through crypto, basically.
Each condo their own
escritura, their own registration. It would be just like any other condo in the Riviera Maya. Got it. So you have full rights.
And you will see in the QR with your phone which the apartment is free and the cost, and you pay at the moment, and it's instantly will receive in the computer the reservation, and you will have the possibility to get in the condo paying in crypto. And it will be 100% transparent for all the owners, because once you make the reservation, an email is sent to the reception and to the owners.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Lady, thank you for your time.
No, that makes sense. No, thank you guys. I appreciate it. These are new concepts to a lot of people, including to myself, and I really appreciate what you guys are trying to create here in the Riviera Maya. I guess my other question would be, prior to meeting Mario, I had heard about this concept being used in other parts of the world. Yours, as far as I know, is the first such project in the Riviera Maya, the Maya token, and what you're trying to create here. Do you know of other similar projects that are being done anywhere else in the world that people may want to? Are you serious? Okay. No? Because I did hear about the concept, so I mean, I think other people are thinking about it, but you guys are actually making it happen. So
yeah,
we put the Paradise in the blockchain.
exactly.
You know this?
come a little bit on the camera, Mariano. Sorry, Mario. Say it again, por favor. Say it again.
We don't have the same project in the world. We are the first. We put the Paradise in the blockchain.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So guys, if people want to know more about this project, you've got your URL there, playita.com.mx. In addition to that, the official launch date for the Maya token is July 2nd. So I'd like to, I hope I'm invited to the party. You better. Okay, all right. So I want to keep my audience posted about this. I think it's an amazing, innovative concept, and I definitely think this is where the future is going. So I commend you guys for doing what you're doing. Thank you, and let's be part of the revolution together. Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry for the
No. Don't worry.
So fluently, but we are trying our best.
Don't worry, you guys. I appreciate your presence, and I appreciate everything you're doing. And again, I want the world to know about this. So we're gonna have more calls in the future, okay? To give us some updates. Okay. Bye, everyone. See you guys soon. Thanks everyone for watching. See you on next week's edition of Money Matters. Bye bye.